What is going on, everybody? My name is Brax and welcome to the channel. Today we have a Super People video for you. I wanted to go over all the classes in Super People, kind of go through them, explain what they'll do, what their ultimates are especially, but also those 9 little abilities that you can use, the gun modifiers, all that stuff, so that you guys can really get a good grasp of which character you should be using, which character you should be spending that sweet gold on, which character it's probably okay to use if you get them randomly. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First, we have the Gatling Soldier, a really strong, powerful, high power class, like a support character type guy. He has his signature ability, which is his Gatling gun, which you can see right here. Shoots really fast, uses the ammo that you have in your inventory, so make sure that you know what you're shooting with. And then he also has his tactical slide, which you can use with your crouch button, and a tactical roll, which is actually a lot of fun, and he actually shoots pretty far, like 10 feet, depending on the direction that you're going. Really strong soldier, one of my favorites, highly recommended. And on the flip side to one of my favorite characters, we have Shotgun Master, perhaps my least favorite. Let's run through his abilities though. So top left, you're going to get 5, 7, and 10% damage for your main gun. You're going to get 20, 30, or 40% reload speed, and then 10, 15, or 20% your sniper upgrades, which is actually pretty interesting. For green, you have physical training, which is just going to give you an HP increase. Then we have upgraded flashbangs, literally doing what it says, upgrading your flashbangs, and then AR resistance, 10, 20, or 30% reduction in incoming AR damage. In blue, we have knockback, knocks back enemies upon landing a hit, and then a little more knockback as it levels up. Jump training gives you increased accuracy while you're jumping, and then super jump, you press your key there to activate the super jump, and you fly so far into the air. As you can see here, you just shoot up. It's kind of nuts. His ultimate is a tank shotgun. So most people aren't using shotguns in this game, but if you are, all that it says is each shotgun round becomes as lethal as a tank. What does that mean? Is it like an M1 Abrams tank? I don't really know. But it is really, really strong. You usually get 9 to 15 pellets, depending on the shotgun that you're using. And if each round is doing like 30, 40 damage, you can pretty much one-shot people. So now let's jump into Strike Force. His abilities, again, top left, just give you damage increase for his specialized weapon. Rapid Fire is going to give you SMG fire rate and magazine capacity, a little percentage increase on that depending on which one it is. And then Lacerating Rounds is going to give more bleeding effect plus accuracy as you're shooting at people, which is honestly kind of nuts. Bulletproof Shield creates a bulletproof shield immediately upon being hit. This is the most frustrating ability to play against, and if you've ever shot at somebody and your shield pops up, you know. Long range defense is going to reduce damage taken from farther away. Really useful. Can't really be sniped. It's awesome. Mobile Assault is just going to give you a damage and defense increase while you're running. So this guy, all about running. You want to go fast. Airwalk, you basically get a float in the air. You jump out of buildings, doesn't take fall damage. Well, it does, but it's much farther you have to fall to take fall damage. So absolutely awesome for that. And then Tactical Slide, exactly what it sounds like. Slide just like in Warzone, just like in Apex, although not quite as far as in Apex, but you do get a slide. And then Shoot and Run is also exactly what it sounds like. You get movement speed while you're running. It's awesome. And then his dash, if it wasn't enough, 200% movement speed. You're just flying. It's crazy. So let's see his abilities in action here. You can see right here the airwalk ability where he doesn't take fall damage. Boop, just totally fine. And then right here, as I'm sliding around, that's how the tactical slide works. And then finally, we have his ultimate dash ability. The little purple on the edges lets you know you're using it if the fact that you're just flying wherever you want to go wasn't enough for you. So that is how Strike Force works. Okay, so let's jump into Sniper real quick. So Sniper has 3 main abilities you want to be aware of. Deadeye, which is his ultimate, or her ultimate, has a 10-second cooldown. As it charges up, you can kind of see there that little yellow to red gradient there. It's charges up as you scope in, and your first shot is just going to do a ton of damage. Second ability is his tactical bomb. You can see it right here as it goes off. Boom. All you're going to do is use the button. In my case, it's T. You see the little red icon. You click. That's all you got to do, and it like pretty much instantly explodes. His last ability that I want to show you is Amplifier. You can see me looking around. I'm not seeing anybody, but what it's going to do is amplify. It's called Amplifier, the noise that you hear. Sniper, one of my favorite classes. Definitely try him out. So let's jump into Seeker, another great agent. Top left, just like normal, 10, 15, 20% on your signature weapon. His is an SMG. Cover fire right is going to give you just a crazy amount of lean angle. You're basically sideways. And then border control is just extra damage and defense. Home ground mountains means you're taking less damage when you're in the mountains. So consider landing and fighting there. The last one just lets you see where projectiles are throwing, and hostiles detected is going to show on the map where hostiles are in kind of a general area. So as landing zone scan, right when you land, you're going to be able to see people. Heartbeat sensor, awesome ability. It works just like the amplifier, but in this case, you have little red dots kind of shining through the wall. And then Molotov traps are awesome. You lay them down, people walk over them, and then they explode. You don't have to actually use them. Let's talk about his ultimate quick slide. You get 3 quick slides, basically. So you're going to hit that ultimate ability, and you're going to slide, and then you can hit it 2 more times. Slide, slide. You're going to jump forward, go really fast. He's an awesome character. You can see it here as it's working, as well as great for those people who love movement, the wraiths of super people, right? And now for maybe the most broken character in the game, Gas Soldier. Starting off just the same, 10, 15, 20% damage with your signature weapon. Advanced Molotov, you're going to get a farther throwing distance, and just more than like that. It's just 20, 50, and 100% extra range to throwing mollies. So if you're playing Gas Soldier and you're like, why are you going to throw this so far? That's why. Chemical rounds deal area of effect damage to enemies near its explosion radius and disrupts enemy HP restoration for 5 seconds, and then more than that, it's just going to do more damage. Ruins are Gas Soldier's home ground. You're going to want to stick in those little ruin patches that you see all across the map because he gets extra damage there. Toxic smoke grenades. Smoke grenades don't do any damage except for this guy. You toss him, this green smoke you can see on the right there. It's disgusting, does a lot of damage, and his gas mask ability means that he's not going to take toxic smoke damage from enemy gas soldiers. Absolutely huge ability. For one of my favorites here, in the blue in the top right, is Fuel Booster. You can see him drinking it there. Plus 10 damage and 10 HP for 60 seconds, and then 20% damage and 30 HP, and then 30% damage and 50 HP as it levels up for 60 seconds after using a fuel tank. So you just use a fuel tank, and it's a funny animation, so definitely use it. Muzzle Flash Detector grants muzzle flash detection within certain areas, depending on the level of it. Super useful. You can see them all around. And the final is Smoke Screen, plus 3% movement speed, and unlocks his slide ability. Gas Soldier can also slide, plus he gets 10 and 20% movement speed when he enters a smoke screen. So the big smoke screen from the Marine, that kind of thing, just regular smokes. His Fireball ability is what makes him broken. Charges us up just like this, and then you just let it go. And what can they do? Not a ton, not a ton. It doesn't go very far, so that is something to consider. You don't want to shoot up too far across the map, but you can see there that I did a ton of damage on the right just with that little thing, and it's a great get out of jail free pass, just like that. Let's jump into our silent assassin, our silent killer, the Marine, 20, 30, 40% with his DMR. C4. Exactly what it sounds like. You're going to throw out a little bundle of C4. He's going to pull a detonator into his hand, and you can just click again to activate it. Upgraded silencers means he's going to do more damage if you use silencers. So consider silencers. Same thing, home ground water. Consider fighting in water because you get more damage. And anti-air fire gives you more damage if you're shooting at an upward angle. Water ghillie gives him a water ghillie plus less damage received while swimming as it levels up, which is awesome. Underwater infiltration means he can run in shallow water with no movement decreases, and then he gets more swimming speed and breath hold, which is awesome. Amphibious Assault is going to give you 50% less noise when moving in shallow water, and then increase his HP at second level, and then increase his movement speed at third level. And Camaraderie, plus 20% health recovery, consumable, and energy bar use speed, plus a few other good things. Plus his Fog of War, a big ol' smoke comes out on the side, trapping anybody in it. And if you get caught in one of these, you're just going to want to exit the smoke immediately. Trust me, it's no use fighting inside of one. He'll kill you. Let's talk about my favorite character. Teleporter, 20, 30, or 40% damage. The one-shot one kill is going to give you reduced recoil plus extra damage when you're in single fire mode. And his Tomahawk, I'm waiting for the Tomahawk kill. It's coming. You pull out a Tomahawk, you throw it. Exactly what it sounds like. Headstrong, less headshot damage received. Awesome ability. Commando Crawl is going to give you plus movement speed when you're crouching. At level 3, you crouch fast and you run. Field Medic gives you more HP for a short amount of time and better downed abilities and stats. Defensive Aiming, just less damage received from the front when you're aiming down sights with a 2x or more. And Evasive Action, just going to give you movement speed. Quick Fix gives you extra speed for using capsules, and then energy bar, and then health recovery things. And then his ultimate, one of the best abilities in the game. May be a little broken, but I just absolutely love it. Opens up this little menu here, you click, boom, you're there. That's Teleporter. What is not to love? You can get right behind people. Oh, it's so good. Alright, my boy SWAT. I forgot to record his little 9 abilities, but it's pretty similar, honestly. You kind of get the gist, but his ultimate is really cool. It's going to create this big old black orb that only he can see. It's basically like a reverse flash. Instead of white, it's black. You see me use it right there. I can see through. This guy has no idea where I am. He tries to shoot at me, but just not going to work. That is SWAT. SWAT is awesome. Real quick, we can't just go through. You can see on the bottom right there, breach in his red when you jump through something. Or a window, not something, sorry. When you jump through a window, it's going to explode in smoke. It's going to be harder to see. It's going to make a really loud bang, disorient the people inside. It's literally a breach. One of the coolest abilities in the game, personally. All right, let's talk about Firearms Expert. 10, 20, or 30% damage. You know, you're kind of getting the gist of the idea. Firearms Expert's interesting though because he has an SMG upgrade. Sometimes I get an AR and it's kind of useless, but SMG just gives you more damage. Cover fire, throwback also gets the leaning angle. Basically, it's sideways when you're leaning right. Mix and match plus 10, 15, or 20% damage when you equip guns of the same class. Headshot evasion. You basically take no headshot damage. It's the most frustrating ability in the game. I wish they'd remove it. Bullet Tracer, you can now see the trajectory of enemy bullets, plus it gives you a little more HP for some reason. Quick Aim, you just switch weapons really fast. It's awesome. And then Shoot and Run, also a throwback. Kind of get what we're going here. You get movement speed, plus you're just really, really fast. And then Tactical Reload, awesome ability. You get faster reload speed, plus you get extra capacity in the gun. It's awesome. Force Field creates this big old purpley force field that slows down anybody inside of it. They can't shoot as fast. They can't move as fast. It's really frustrating to be on the other side of it, but it's a fantastic ability if you're the one casting it. Now let's talk about Homegirl Nuclear. 10, 20, 30% damage with the AR. Point shooting gets you extra accuracy when hip firing and shoulder firing. Really awesome, and then less damage if you're also doing that later on. RPG, just a big old rocket launcher, because who doesn't need a rocket launcher in this game? I sure do. Homeground trees, be inside trees for extra damage. If you're like roasting people in trees, that's why. Upgraded energy bar means you get HP back when you consume an energy bar, and then plus movement speed while downed at the very end, because, you know, why not? Weaving is going to weave automatically when standing or crouching. Basically, you're going to be just standing there, they're going to shoot you, and you're going to be like, oh, actually, never mind, and then less damage received while weaving. Firewall upgrades your Molotov cocktail into a firewall. You get 2 mollies, and they don't weigh as much, and you just throw them, and it creates a big old line of fire that the enemies can't get through it, rather than the little puddle of fire. Spatial awareness lets you detect the location of a shooter inside a 50, 100, or 150 meter radius. Super awesome ability. Know where they are. And finally, quick march just gives you extra movement speed when you're empty-handed. So put your weapons away, start running, and if you got a level 3, boom. And then I've said boom, tac nuke. Tac nuke's a little slow. It's honestly a little disappointing, but I hope they buff it pretty quick. It's really good for flushing people out of where they are. You can see that it takes a while. It opens up the menu just like teleporter, and there it goes. It just kind of takes a little bit. So it's a little disappointing, but if you're trying to flush somebody out, like you can see right here, it's perfect ability. Like, they just start running because who wants to get nuked, right? And for our final boy, we have Driver. You can see this is the first clip I recorded before I decided to turn my webcam off. There I am. Hello, me. All right. 10, 15, 20% on the SMG damage front because Driver's just that cool. Then high-speed smart bullets. The bullets that are slightly off target will curve and hit the enemy. You call it aim assist, you call it aim bot, you can call it whatever you want, but it's in the game now. So if you miss them a little bit, there's your buff. Mounted combat, you get more accuracy and more damage when you're shooting from a vehicle. So hop in those vehicles, start shooting out of them. And your home ground is vehicles. So you get even more damage when you're shooting out of a vehicle if you're inside of a vehicle. He does just a crazy amount of damage when he's driving. Well, I guess in a passenger seat since he can't drive. He's also explosion resistant. Negative 100% damage received from vehicle collisions and explosions. You can't be killed by him. And then 50% damage, less damage received from tac nukes, so you can just survive one. And 50% less damage received from grenades, advanced grenades, RPGs, C4, and airstrikes. Literally explosion resistant. Bulletproof glass is going to give you more maximum HP, and then better defense for all soldiers inside your vehicle. All soldiers, you and your buddies. Fantastic. Nitro. You're going to hit the nitro button and you're going to start flying. Literally. You're not going to start going fast, although you will go fast. You're going to jump up into the air. You're going to fly up into the air, kind of like the Shotgun Master jump, but this time with a car. And Smart Key, if you really just want to use Nitro, just call one in, you know? You just pop the Smart Key open and boom, there's a car right in front of you. And finally, Smart Detector will detect your nearby vehicles. Vehicles that are pretty close does have a little bit of a cooldown. And then it also detects nearby enemies who've used capsules or crafted items recently. And then his ultimate is a big old monster truck. You can kind of see it around my little picture there. That big old monster truck. If the little ATV or the little UAZ you're driving just isn't going to cut it, you just call it a monster truck because that's just how Driver do. Alrighty guys, that about does it. Every class in Super People so far. I know they're looking to add more and I'm super excited to see what else they add, but I hope just kind of this beginner overview is going to let you know exactly who you think you should play, which characters are going to be best for you. For me, Shotgun Master and Driver really aren't my style, and Teleporter and Sniper are, but maybe you're the complete opposite. So you're just going to have to test them out. But I hope that this at least gives you an overview to know what to expect as you play them, how to use them just a little bit so that you can go out there and just absolutely get those wins, absolutely crush people. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.